Where did it go wrong for Frank Lampard? What could he have done differently? How did this happen? Well, for one, Frank Lampard is a very inexperienced manager, so he was always up against it, especially at the top level. But I think there are three key games which got him the sack, and they were Wolves away, Arsenal away, and Leicester away. The correlation between these games is that, you guessed it, they're all away games. But on top of that, I think these were Chelsea's worst performances. And when you're really looking at it, Chelsea conceded multiple goals in all these games, so that's another thing as well. Looking at Wolves away, Chelsea were cruising in this game. They scored the early goal. Well, not the early goal. They scored the first goal. They were doing well. Everything was under control. Excuse me. So everything was going fine. But then Podence scores. He brings the game level. And from this point on, this game could have gone either way. Chelsea could have won it, or Wolves could have won it. But obviously Wolves ended up winning it in the last minute of the game when Neto netted on the far post. It was a brilliant finish. But obviously it spelled defeat for Chelsea. And it was a very bad loss because Chelsea had more than enough opportunities to win this game. Next up is Arsenal away. This was a shocking performance. I think it was probably Arsenal's best performance of the season, so it came at a bad time for Chelsea, but they should never have conceded any of those goals. They were all preventable, and I think that in hindsight, if Lampard had to choose his team differently, he probably would. I'm not sure how Chelsea defended in this game because I don't think their defense is that bad, but it was just really, really sloppy. And obviously at this point, Arsenal, their confidence was on the floor. So for them to be able to, get a result like this is kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of absurd as well. And yeah, there's not much more we can say about that. Actually, Arsenal should have won this game by more. Like, that's how bad this performance was. The last one I want to talk about is Leicester. Excuse me, Leicester away. So this is a game that was kind of a must-win game for Chelsea. Every game is a must-win for Chelsea, but this one was even more so because Lampard's job was literally on the line, and they lost it. Again, another game they should have won. I think they had more than enough chances to win this game. Obviously, Leicester took their chances, some very good goals. Maybe you could say Chelsea were unlucky, but, at this point, there's only so many times you can be unlucky. The first goal could have been preventable, maybe not. It was a fantastic strike by Ndidi. Maybe there's not much you can do about it. The second goal should have been stopped though, like that's something you've got to cut out, but when your confidence is on the floor and you're not organized properly, these things happen. And really, I just don't think the team is playing all that well. Like, as good as the players that Chelsea have, you have to have some sort of fluidity and a system that each player knows inside out. It's possible that all these players are a bit confused about what their roles are in the team because Lampard keeps changing it so frequently, and maybe that's the maybe that is the real reason why he got sacked, because he doesn't have a settled team, a settled formation, and he just can't get. And if you don't do that, you won't ever get consistent results, and that's about it.